less than what you earn. This is the most basic, fundamental rule of personal finance. You have to spend less than what you're earning and invest the difference for your future. This way, you can have a comfortable life when you get old and you don't have the same energy that you have today. If you're always spending more than what you're earning, it will be almost impossible to achieve big financial goals and you won't be able to retire rich. When it comes to your finances, keep it as simple as possible. For instance, the more credit cards you have, the more chances you have for identity theft, and the more chances you have to miss a payment. The more investment accounts you have, the less attention you can give each one, and the more likely it is that you'll miss a big problem. The more accounts and investments and bills that you have, the more time and energy you have to spend to stay on top of it all, and the more likely it is that you're going to make an error. So, simplify. Cancel some of those credit cards, roll over some of those investments, and consolidate some of those debts. Don't ever let your future self take care of your present situation. Do you ever tell yourself that it's okay to make a bad spending decision right now, like going into debt, because you'll eventually earn more money down the road? That's a big mistake, and one that you'll almost always will regret. Yes, you might have more income in the future, but you also have future expenses that's coming for you. So better be safe than sorry. Let your present self take care of your future self instead. Save and invest today. Focus first on building an emergency fund. If you do not have a cash emergency fund just sitting in a savings account at a local bank, then this should be your priority. Cash is king when faced with an unexpected expense. Unlike credit cards or loans, you don't have to worry about where to get the money to pay for your debts after your emergency. You can start building an emergency fund by allotting a portion of your income towards your savings every month. Eliminate your debts by setting up a simple debt repayment plan. You can search for and learn about the debt snowball method. Basically, you need to organize your debts by amount and then by interest rate. Pay more than the minimum amount required on whatever debt has the largest balance, while paying only the minimum for the rest of your debts. Do this until that debt is gone. Then add the total amount of what you were paying to that on the next debt in the list. Keep repeating until you're debt-free. It's never too early to prepare for your retirement. Once you have managed to pay off all your high-interest, short-term debts, then it's a good idea to set aside a portion of your income and invest it in the stock market or an equity fund. Two investments that are excellent for growing a retirement fund. You don't have to invest a large amount. Some mutual funds you can invest for as small as 1,000 pesos. The key is to start early and do it regularly so you can watch your money compound and grow to millions of pesos slowly but surely through the years. Do you need life insurance? You probably don't. Well, not yet. You don't need life insurance unless you have financial dependents. And if you do have financial dependents, make sure that you get the right kind of insurance policy. Particularly if your budget is still small, then a term life insurance might be your best option. Lastly, make sure that you work with a financial advisor who is willing to get to know you first and do a needs analysis before giving you a proposal. Because that means they're not just selling you insurance, but they're really sincere in helping you get financial protection. Build a budget just for the process of building it right. A budget can be a useful tool for keeping your spending on track. But the most valuable part of budgeting is actually the process of building a budget correctly. How does one do it correctly? You need to actually track your expenses and write your spending numbers. How much do you actually spend a month on food, groceries, utilities, transportation? Get your real numbers and not just estimates. This process will easily show you the areas where you actually overspend, so you can manage your cash flow and budget better. Study your regular bills. Some of them might just be extra expenses that you don't really need. Go through each of your monthly spending and think about it really hard. If you're not using it, cancel your subscription. If you can find a cheaper alternative, get rid of it. Common examples here are magazine subscription, gym or club memberships, cable TV subscriptions, unnecessary add-ons to our mobile plan, and recurring payments to some online services. This will help you save money, so do it now. Know how much money you actually earn per hour. Figure out how much you earned last year, then subtract from that all of the cost of commuting, office clothes, and other work-related expenses that you had. Then figure out how many hours you worked, plus the hours you commuted and other work-related activities you did outside office hours. Divide your after-expenses income by your total hours of work to get your true hourly salary. Doing this will help you gain a better perspective of the value of your time and how many hours of your life you're using when you're buying something. Knowing your true hourly salary can be a powerful tool. You can use it to measure almost everything you buy. Let's say your true salary is 100 pesos per hour. If you're looking at buying a 1,000 peso shirt, then ask yourself whether owning that shirt is worth 10 hours of your life. If you're thinking of buying a 50,000 peso smartphone, then ask yourself if that is worth 500 hours of your life or 2 months worth of work that you did in the office. Doing this encourages you to be more conscious of how you're spending, and you'll most likely buy more of things that are truly worth it. Don't buy stocks of a company just because an expert recommended it. Oftentimes, these stock picks are just general recommendations and are meant for you to consider and study. This means you still need to do technical and fundamental analysis to determine if indeed the company is a good buy or a good investment. Do not blindly follow stock or investment advice that you see online. It's always better if the conviction comes from your own study of the company. Always take economic and market forecasts with a grain of salt. Nobody can predict the future, and even financial experts make mistakes. What you can do is to have a financial and investment plan given the current economic situation, and then adjust or adapt your plan as the market moves. What is it that you want for your future? It's a difficult question, but it's one that can provide incredible motivation and direction for the things you do every day. Do you want to retire early? Do you want to start a business? Do you want to travel around the world? Whatever your goals are, keep it in mind all the time. Fill your life with reminders of your big goals so that you can make better choices that are in line with them when you make the little decisions and actions you do every day.